Hello.
We're live.
Hello.
We're here. Boom. Bish bash bosh. What a weekend of football it's been.
It's been great.
My camera's just doing a little thing. Let me just mess around with this without ruining everything. Boom. Perfect. Awesome. Gents, how are we?
Very good. How are you?
Boss, mate. I'm boss. But I didn't sleep very well Saturday night after that game. I was up, I was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning, buzzing off my head. It was just I didn't realise how nerve-wracking it was, and considering how close most of our games have been all season. Right, we're gonna do this how we usually do. Lee, what have you been up to? What's going on, mate?
So another sort of weekend full of football for me. So obviously watching the games, and then Sunday we had some more Cats Academy training. Still looking good, still looking strong, recruiting slowly, getting more players involved. So yeah, that side of it's looking good. I'm also auditioning this week for another role in another play. So
Yes, mate.
not panto this time. This is a serious play. I've actually got to act in it. So I'm going to
Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Where are thou, Eagles, in the playoffs? Oh no!
Oh dear.
Steve, what's been going on with you, mate? Gives the goss.
Honestly, not a lot. I've been ill, so I've just been watching TV, lounging, and doing artwork and stuff. Yeah, there's really not been a lot going on my side over here.
Perfect. Me, work, and kicking. But mate, my kicking is getting there. I did that much kicking when I got in my car on Monday. My foot was dead heavy, so I had to drive home dead slow because I was like having to lift my leg up, and I've got a big bruise in my foot. I think I must have kicked that ball 100 times, but all for the right reasons. All for the right reasons. Any thoughts? What were your views on this last weekend, then, folks? We're going to go into it in a sec, but was there anything that shocked you? Was there anything that didn't shock you?
I mean, I got all my predictions right from last week's show, so nothing shocked me. The only thing that I was surprised about is how close 3 of the games were. Obviously, one was a blowout. We'll talk about that in a minute, but
that just wasn't a blowout. That was murder. That was murder.
Murder. Aye.
That was yeah. Right, listen, we might have another guest. We don't know yet. We'll see if that happens. That happens, but we're gonna get to it. Any comments? Any questions? Whack them in. We want to know what you think of what's going on and all that jazz. Anything not rude. So first game of the weekend. Let's do this properly. Why is this doing it backwards? Give me 1 minute, 2 seconds. That can't be right. It's saying, hang on, I'm on the wrong weekend. As we were, so right. Ellie Evans, hello to you too. So first game was my beloved Broncos against the Bills. We have a group chat. Our group chat was going on fire. I was up, then I was down, then I was up, then I was down, then I was dancing with my shirt off, then I was quickly sat on my butt. What a absolute belter of a game. Broncos won 33-30 in overtime. Hang on, evening, gentlemen. Do you believe Josh Allen involved in Bills HC being fired? That is a great question.
No, I don't think he did.
Does a QB have that much power? Because if they do, they're just destined for things to go wrong.
No,
that's my view.
Yeah.
Hang on,
I think it's more of a case of it was McDermott.
They've got a brilliant team. They've got a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, they have, and I think, Sean McDermott, isn't it? Sean McDermott. Yeah, Sean McDermott. I think he's before the game got played. There was rumors that he kind of went into the front office and kind of made a list of why they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. So I think that negativity around, the teams lacking in positions and kind of trying to put the blame onto the front office in their sort of form of recruitment and their their work that they do, tirelessly, putting the blame on them rather than himself. And I think, after the game, he was very vocal in saying, that it was down to that, catch, interception, whatever you want to call it, on the, the sort of second from last play of the game, before overtime. That there was much controversy over what he said, and I think it was more of a case of, he's had a few years, he's got them into a fantastic position, but now I think it just needs new management, an offensive mind to take this offense and actually go do something with it. I don't think Josh Allen had anything to do with this. I think he's in it for the ride, but I don't think he had that much power.
No, I agree, and I agree with what Nathan also said, is that the QB would be traded less likely than the coach being fired.
He's saying here, "Hi guys, on a Zoom meeting, got a message in Giants making big moves and can't wait to see what our new head coach generates." Coach Russ, you are welcome on this show anytime. If you finish your Zoom meeting and you want to join on, just click on the link. It's the same link as last time. You are welcome on, my friend. So is Russell. I really want the whale to hear how Boss's accent is, as we were.
Yeah, it's more likely that they're going to fire a coach than they're going to get rid of what they've got as a franchise quarterback. They've still got trust in Allen.
Well, you'd be mad not to. It's not like he's had a poor season.
The thing is, I wouldn't even say the coach has. I think that getting rid of that sort of rocks the boat, resets the squad. It gives a new, maybe a younger coach the chance to go in with a new mindset, a different mindset. Because if you keep trying the same thing and failing, it's never going to get any better. So I think it's just to shake it up and mix it up. It's definitely not Josh Allen who's got the power there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Let's talk about this brilliant game. From the get-go, this game got going straight away. I think the Broncos went in with a decent lead at half-time. Let me just click on this, see if this lets it work. Yes, half-time, the Broncos were at 20, the Bills were at 10. I was really thinking, if we get this next score, if we, and then it just folded for the Broncos. And we've obviously got a field. Let's have a little look at this. Yeah, Bills obviously outscored us the second half, but we just got to push back to overtime. And then that hang on, wait there, mate Mateo, what's he going to say here? Oh, do you know what, this stupid bloody phone? What's he saying? Mate Mateo might regret having us both on the show. Nah, bro, you are all welcome on. You are all welcome on. But for me, so like, people have been saying the Broncos shouldn't be. I've seen so many comments about the Broncos shouldn't be here. Why not? We've literally beat apart from the Seahawks loss, we've either won every game or lost by a last second field goal. Apart from that Seahawks loss, and I think the Seahawks will be brilliant next season. I thought it was a testament to why the Broncos are in where they are. Where the downside was waking up the next morning to find Bo Nix is out. But
yeah, that was a bad injury. What do you think about backup? He's not even thrown a ball in a live game for 2 seasons. Like, what? I mean, we can speak about that later, but that's going to be a saddening thing to have seen. But so this game was obviously the first game of the week, and there were 5 Bills fumbles. From there on, there were 17 fumbles all weekend. So I have named this week the Fumble Palooza. 4 games, 17 fumbles. Started off with 5 from the Bills alone.
Just a comment here. Broncos won, but did they ultimately lose with the Knicks injury? We are going to answer that later on in the show when we do our predictions. I will look. I'm flabbergasted my team's got this far, and I know I've been that annoying little jerk all season, and it couldn't have been a better time for you guys teams to be really well. Your team's been pretty okay, but your team's been horrendous. Anyway, so I've been a bit unbearable this season. If we go out this weekend, it's a brilliant season for us. It's a brilliant season. Now, gents, Lee, we'll go to your thoughts in a bit, but remember, we do have our game of the week and our toilet of the week. Lee, what did you think, mate? Did you watch it? Well, you watched it. Of course you watched it. Go on.
I watched it. We were messaging all night, weren't we? And
wait till Sunday.
It was incredible to watch. It really was. And I predicted it was going to be a close game. I said there was only going to be 3 points in it, and I was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I did predict that the Broncos would win. what I wasn't predicting on is, some of the, that like the whole interception catch. Was it a catch or an interception? Obviously we've got another game where it was the roles were reversed with the in the Rams game, but there's lots of controversy over that, and the refs had the opportunity to stop the game, review the tape, but they didn't. And one of their excuses was that they didn't want to slow the momentum of the game down. And from a viewer standpoint, that's fantastic. We don't want the game to go to another commercial and drag on even more. We want the game to be constantly free moving. But when the stakes are that high, when it's a playoffs game,
I agree.
Should it go to a review?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that was going to be the winning field goal for them, but unfortunately, it wasn't. The call stands on the field as an interception. Broncos walk away, march down the field, and the Bills messed up. The Bills messed up with 2 pass interference calls, which put the Broncos into prime field goal position. And like I said to you, I was messaging you. Once they were in that field goal position, it was just run the ball 3 times and then boot it. Don't risk anything, and that's exactly what they did. And it was bittersweet with the end with Bo Nix. I think he walked off the pitch. Everything was looking fine. He was going for his press conferences, and then
it doesn't sound like it's a severe break though. I think it's look, your season's finished. You'll be back for next season. Yeah. My wife kicked me out of bed. She's like, "Go watch us downstairs. You're doing me head." So I went downstairs, and I was FaceTiming my Colorado family, and their stream was like a minute behind. And he's like, "Why are you calling me?" And I'm like, "Oh, just seeing." He's like, "We won by a field goal, haven't we?" I'm like, "I'm not saying nothing." He's like, "Are we out?" I'm not saying nothing. And he's like, "Yes, man. I know we've won." But honestly, because like that was the most emotional I've been for it, because for in a game for my team, because we've not been great since 2015. Let's be honest. Last season we did pretty well, and it showed the foundations for this season. But all the emotions were kicking off in that game. You're effing this. We don't swear on this channel. But in regards to the referee decision, I know they do have a look over it straight away. Do you agree or disagree with the referee decision, gents?
From the angles I saw, I do agree with it. But what a lot of people seem to forget is the fact that, much like the VAR, but a lot better, they have a whole team reviewing every single play constantly. So they don't always need to get the ref to go, look, there's a whole team reviewing it. And if they haven't said to the ref, I'd like, pause, it's conclusive enough.
Yeah, not definitely.
I mean, in normal regulation time, the coaches have a red flag. They can throw it on the pitch, stop the game, bring the ref over and say, "I want you to recheck that." And there's only certain things that they can do that on. They can't just do it on.
Can't do that in overtime.
No, this is exactly it. On overtime and in the final 2 minutes of regulation, all that gets taken away from the coaches, and then all games and stuff are called from the booth. Essentially, the professional referees who are also watching the game may whisper into the ear of the referee on the pitch and say, "You may want to check that again." But they didn't do it, or if they did do it, the referee on the field said, "No, we're going to keep the game moving," which is controversial in itself.
I feel like. Well, do you agree or disagree? Sorry.
I mean, with the calling, I disagree. It shouldn't have been an interception. It should have been a catch. But obviously, with the ref's decision, I do disagree. I think they should have stopped the game.
See, I also agree with you, Lee. And it's my team, but you've got to be like we're working on a new project. Anyone watching this will know that we will challenge the narrative, but we've also not got to be biased, towards our team. I agree. I didn't think it was, but I'm going to celebrate it. Absolutely. And if it was any of your teams, you'd be celebrating, but it was against your team, you'd be furious. I'd love to have a Bills fan on now, just to wind them up, but also just to see what, their emotions they were feeling and stuff like that. But was it, gents, question for either of you, because we're going to go on to the next game. Was this your toilet of the week for either of you?
No.
No. Was this your game of the week?
For me, it
Okay.
was. For me, I think this had enough excitement in it, and for me, this was definitely the game of the week
Okay.
for me.
All of the games, the last three, so three of them have been very close. I'm going to say no for this one. That's only because I'm just so used to watching the Bills lose in overtime in playoffs. So it got to the point where it's just like, where's the excitement here?
So, for anyone who's never watched this, I'm a Bronco. I'm an unbearable Bronco. I will admit that. But it wasn't my game of the week, and we'll get onto that later. But it was a brilliant game of football. It was a brilliant game for the mutuals. That's a perfect game to show someone who's never watched this sport before. So it was a brilliant game, but it wasn't game of the week. Okay. Next up, according to my thing, it was the Seahawks against the 49ers. And this was an absolute murder. From the get-go, Seahawks, I think they returned a kickoff.
Yep.
Yep, the 95-yard field return. Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but for me, the Seahawks just manhandled the 49ers. They looked ready. They looked pumped. That crowd was sensational. Absolutely brilliant. And they dominated from the get-go. It never looked like the 49ers were in the game. What happened? Lee, we're going to you first this moment. Did you watch this? I mean, I think you did because you were up, still up, mate. But
yeah, it was a crazy game. I mean, that opening kickoff was just, it kind of set the bar. You were just like, oh, Sam Darnold doesn't even need to come on the pitch, and it's 7 points are on the board already. And then the Niners come on, and they stall, they punt, and then Sam Darnold finally gets on the field, puts it down the field, and it was just another 14 points on the board. It was incredible to watch. It was like this. Put it into a brick ball analogy. It was watching the Warriors kind of beating up a team that's just been promoted into the Prem.
It's the best way to describe it. It looked like a team getting promoted, playing a team getting relegated.
Absolutely, and it was just a bloodbath, and I think the score really tells the story in this. 40-6. It was just, where were they?
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think?
This was an insane game. I was not expecting it to be this big of a win. This is like one of the 49ers' biggest losses in a very long time. But it's Seahawks all over. They came out, as you said, ready. Kick return touchdown. That's not happened in a long time for an opening kick in playoffs. 3 49ers fumbles. The defense was all over it as well. They held Christian McCaffrey to 39 yards on the ground. How did you do that? The fact that Brock Purdy had more rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey for this game. But yeah, as I said, Sam Darnold wasn't really needed in this game. Maybe it was a nice little rest for him. Give it all to Kenneth Walker, get him scoring, get the defense just stopping them. But definitely a scary team.
Yeah, I watched because I couldn't sleep, so I just carried on watching until I was tired because it was that buzzing. And I'll say this: Seahawks offense and the defense, they both just looked as good as each other, but their line were like manhandling the 49ers, and they were telling them you could. I think that's the like on the footage I was watching. There's nothing you can do to stop us, and the 49ers players like, I know, mate, we're screwed. It was poor, but why were they that? Why were they that bad? Because it wasn't a good performance by them at all. Just for context, before you answer that question, it was 17-0 after the first quarter. After the second quarter, half time, it was 24-6, and it finished 41-6. Why were they that bad?
I think it's we all know about the injuries that the Niners have had this season. With with Bosa out, with Fred Warner out, and obviously last week losing George Kittle against the Eagles. So they were losing pieces left, right, and centre, and I think it's finally caught up when they've gone up against a really good team. Yeah, I mean, Nathan saying that Aiden Durd's defense set the tone. Exactly that. They did. They set the tone. They kind of said this is the level we're going to play at. If and try and score against us, and they couldn't. they physically didn't score a touchdown. They scored 2 field goals, and that was it. So yeah,
yes, it is a very injury-riddled team, as we've been saying. But I did say last week that George Kittle being out, if you'd look back at the games he was out before, they lost most of them, and they couldn't get a run game going. And it goes to show how much of a difference having him being a blocker and blocking tight end makes for that running team.
I'm going to give you some things here, because these are both very much run teams. Passing yards, who do you think pass more, Seahawks or 49ers?
I won't ask because I've also got it up.
Lee?
I'm probably going to go Niners, actually, because he was launching that ball.
140 yards with 1 interception, and Sam Darnold was 124 yards with no interceptions. Rushing yards.
They just abused that run then, didn't they?
Hang on, Steve, I'm taking all your content here. Steve, you carry on, mate. Go on, mate.
Yeah, no, like rushing yards. Okay, we do rushing yards. Which team had the most rushing yards? Like, as a ratio between rushing and passing, who rushed more and got more yards on the ground?
Seahawks.
Who used the air? Yeah.
Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, Seahawks used the ground. I think this was one of the first games of the season that the Niners actually went in the air more, and that was a problem for them because the Seahawks corners are really good. They wanted to be running more, but they, like I said, they needed Kittle in that line to be an extra blocker, and they don't seem to have a back end tight up who can do that as well.
So let's ask this question. Lee, you've already answered one. So, Steve, Lee, sorry, is this your toilet of the week?
I'm going to say yeah. I think when we're at this stage of the competition, we expect 2 good teams to go at it, and I only saw one on that field. So yeah, this was my toilet bowl of the week.
Steve, is this your toilet bowl of the week?
Yes, exactly the same. Even though, as you guys know, I'm a defensive player and I love watching defenses, I would rather a slow-scoring game with a lot of defenses balling rather than just one team.
Okay.
What about you?
Yes, this was my toilet of the week and my game of the week.
What? I was about to.
So, just because.
Can we get a meme of like the?
I know, yeah. so because we'll clip this. We'll say we'll clip this. They were that good, the Seahawks. Like, we can say the 49ers were bad, but the Seahawks made them that bad on the biggest game of the season thus far. That team, I do not want the Seahawks to win this weekend. I want the Rams to win because I feel more confident if my team somehow manages to beat the Pats, which we'll go into later. They look absolutely petrifying. They were that good. They manhandled a great 49ers team. I know they've got one injury, but there's other people that would have stepped up, and it was mental. And the reason for the toilet of the week is the 49ers just got manhandled. It was like Lee said before, it was like in a team getting relegated against a team getting promoted. It was absolutely crazy. So that's the reason for my thing.
It's fair enough.
I mean, I've picked it over the. I think that's the biggest convincing performance of this season for any team. That's how good they were. They weren't, sorry, not good, excellent.
Yeah,
better than great, excellent. So let's move on to another game. Patriots Texans. I watched quite a fair bit of this. Patriots won 28-16. I just don't think that the Texans turned up. It was a really bad day in the office. The game started off quite slow. At halftime, it was 21 points to 10, and the Texans needed to come on second half and perform, and he just didn't. Steve, I'm going to go to you on this one, mate.
So for me, this was very close to being a game of the week, but like defense wise, but the Patriots defense won this game for me. I don't think the offense did enough to be interesting. They forced 4 interceptions, but then this is funny. You type Drake May on your notes, it autocorrects it to Drake Mail. It's weird, but no, Drake May looked awful. 4 fumbles and an interception. Like, what? Again, I'm going back to calling it Fumble-palooza. Why can't anyone hold the ball this week?
Well, CJ Stroud didn't look any better, mate. He threw 4 interceptions. I will say this. Obviously, the Texans is one of the best defenses in the league. For me, the Broncos is the best defense in the league. Defense is good. If Broncos are to win this weekend, it's the defense that's going to win that game.
No, completely true.
Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was CJ Stroud. You know, as Nate's saying here, you know, running out of time with that D, you don't need 400 passing yards. Yeah, I mean, he was being forced to throw downfield into some dangerous windows, and you know, unfortunately, a lot of his passes were picked off, and you know, the Patriots turned it into points on the field. So, you know, I think he tried everything he could, but I think it just wasn't his day. You know, is he running out of time? I don't know. Do we think the offense is complete? You know, Collins wasn't playing in that game. You know, does he have a true number 2 wide receiver? You know, even the running backs just weren't on it. You know, Marks went out with an injury quite early on in the game, which left, you know, a lot of the, you know, Chubb to pick up sort of the pieces there. Nathan saying there, you know, Will Campbell, the first round draft pick at LT, got beat like he was stolen something.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You're not wrong.
Keep going. Just keep going.
I don't know where to go from this, Steve. What have you got?
So anyway, gents,
I've got a quick higher or lower game. So CJ Stroud completed 20 passes. Higher or lower for Drake May?
Lower.
Yeah, got to be lower.
16 passes is the highest. CJ Stroud did attempt 47 though. He just sort of forgot he had a running team behind it.
And Drake May attempted 27.
Yeah. Good guess, Mateo.
Yeah. He doesn't even send me his notes. I've got my notes. He just doesn't think I have notes, but I do. Yeah, look, it was. I don't think it was game of the week for me. I don't think it was anywhere near it because the Texans were that poor in the second half. I've used my toilet. I've used my game. Lee, have you used your toilet? You've used your toilet and your game.
Okay, so Steve, game, yeah.
What?
Neither for me. So I think that tells you the answer of my game of the week. But
hang on, your toilet of the week was Seahawks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, next one. Bears beat Battlestar Galactica. The Bears got beat by the Rams 20-17. This was a great game. Nathan, we are gutted for you, mate. Trust me, we wanted the Bears to go and play the Seahawks. This is a great game of football.
Yeah.
We've only had one toilet, let's be honest. But no, it was a great game of football. It was a passing game of football as well as the running aspect to it as well. I'm nearly read more stats that Steve's going to choke me. So, Steve, I'm going to go to you after Lee. Lee, what did you think of this one, mate?
Oh, do you know, this was obviously a weather game. You know, I'd love to bring Nate on and see what he's got to say about this game because, you know, it was an overtime game, and whenever you get,
hang on, I'm going to send him a link, see if he wants to come on. Right, if it comes off, just carry on 1 second.
Come on, mate, you've got to come on. I want to hear your side of this. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was a weather game. There was loads of factors involved in this, and you know, the Bears' offense had a fantastic fantastic game. But yeah, I mean that Williams' fourth down pass, as Nate's just alluded to, there was absolutely phenomenal. You know,
Right. Sorry, 2 seconds. Nathan, you have a link. You can come on, but you cannot swear. You can't swear. So if you want to come on, mate, even
Come
just
on,
tell us what your thoughts were during this game,
Come on,
and then
buddy.
jump back to work. Come on, mate. It
We're
is in
praying.
your inbox.
We're praying.
I'm waiting
Just
for
bully
it.
him on.
Just click on the link, and you can come on. The offer is there, mate. It's a once in a lifetime, because this show's only on this. Well, we've got 2 shows left on this, then we move over to our new platform and gone in where guys can't need to be professional for once. You bore! Boo! Are you
He's
messing?
making this up.
Just go
He's
to the
making this
toilet.
up.
Just go to the toilet. Don't do nothing in the toilet. Like you know what I mean. But Lee, as you wait, the link is there, Nathan. Come on, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
If anyone else is a Bears fan, drop us a message and I'll send you the link right now. Go on.
yeah, the game was exciting to watch. You know, it wasn't a high-scoring sort of aggressive game, but I think that showed down to the defense. You know, the defense really played out on both sides of the ball, and you know that we go back to that. You know, that fourth down sort of pass. You know, I just remember watching. You know, Williams dropping back and back and back, and I'm like, oh no, he's done it now. And then he just throws that ball into the air, and you think, oh, that's going out the back of the end zone. And then Cole Kmet's just there, open, catches that ball, and you're like, and you think, this is it. The Bears are going to win. Ben Johnson's going to go for 2 points, and they're going to smash it. And then the kicking team comes out.
But if he'd have gone for 2 points and missed it, everyone would have went mental. There's the flip side of it, mate. There's the absolute.
No. I think you've got to be aggressive. He's an aggressive coach. He's been aggressive all year. Why not go for it? This, you know, don't put it in the hands of overtime. Take the win.
Does he mean Loveland? Because I used to live in Loveland, Colorado.
No. Loveland, who's a player.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. I'm really tired, by the way. I've been up since after the clock. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. My concussion head for. How do you know I lived in Loveland?
Loveland's been the star tight end this year. He's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
of course, and he got a name Loveland. Bit about Loveland is like a proper small little town in Colorado. It's like the town where I used to live. It's exactly the same. Like it was literally me getting planted from one in the UK to America, and I was like, this is exactly like back home. This is dead easy. So yeah, for anyone who wants to go Loveland, give it a go.
I will do, yeah. Well, Steve, what did you think of this game, mate?
I thought this was a really good game. It was blow for blow. This is one of the games. Obviously, it was a weather game. I'm not. I forgive all the handful of fumbles and stuff on this. It's going to happen. What's interesting is how insanely similar the stats are. Like both quarterbacks attempted the exact same amount of passes. They were within 1 yard on receiving yards as a squad altogether. The only thing that Chicago blew them out with the rushing, but only by 50 yards. And it was just 3 interceptions from Caleb to let them down. But they've got to be.
Stafford had 0. Sorry, I've got the same stats that you've got, so I know where you get your stats from now, so I'm cushy.
Look, I use multiple websites, but
I love the internet. I think the internet is absolutely hilarious. Go on, carry on, mate.
But yeah, no, it's the Bears have got to be happy. I do agree with Lee. I think we needed a bit of a Dan Campbell on a 2-pointer on that attempt. That's what we needed.
The Bears, we didn't think after week 4, we did not think they were going to be here. If we were to go through every show and talk about what we spoke about, we did not think that these were going to be in the show. Let's be honest. No. Let's be creatively honest. We did not think. And for them to just turn it around is being absolutely brilliant. And hopefully it's something that they can work on for next season as well. Because what baffles me about this sport is how one team can be great one season and the next season just be a total toilet.
Let's look at it. So we've got 4 teams going into the championship game.
Correct.
At the beginning of the season, would you have guessed those 4 teams even making the playoffs?
Rams, yes.
Yes.
Rams and Broncos, yes.
Okay.
And
Seahawks?
I'm going to say that because I seen my team improve a lot last season, and I knew it was going to get better this season. And I'm by far not. I'm definitely not one of them deluded fans. So no, I knew we were going to be much better. Rams, yes. Seahawks, they started so good. They've always been up there in the talk. But we were speaking that about the Colts.
Yeah.
We knew they dip off. We just didn't think we knew it would be that bad. Patriots, no, God no. Different. And credit to them. Credit to all the teams who've done it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would have guessed a single one of the four getting this far. Rams, I would have put making the playoffs.
Did you not think Broncos would make playoffs?
I don't know. Yeah, I thought they'd be close because obviously the AFC is known of being. You've probably got 8 teams.
Whoa! Stop! He's here. 1 minute.
Is he in a toilet?
Wait there. I'm trying to allow him. Do not swear. He's here. Can you hear us, mate? Hang on, let me take the shot off. 2 secs, mate. 2 secs. There he is.
There he is.
Can you hear us? Oh, we can't hear him. Let me. If I muted his mic, if I have him, the worst person ever. We can't hear you, mate. Oh, he can't speak. He might not be able to speak. Oh, he's gone. Is he coming back? We don't know.
Disconnecting his Bluetooth headphones.
This is live TV. Anything can happen. He might come back. He might come back.
Any given Sunday.
Steve, is this your game of the week, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. But what we should do for next season, by the way, because we're learning every time we do the show. We love this show, and you'd be surprised how much effort we put in the background and have done for next week's plans. TD UK. Anyway, for next season, what we should do is we should write down who we think is going to make the playoffs, who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, and we should print them. And then we can use that when Steve thinks the Green Bay Packers are going to be 8-0 again, and then we could just be like, mate, you said this last season. Just look at that. Right, we're going to hope that they
might say it every season until we stop doing this.
He couldn't. I couldn't hear anything. Nathan, we couldn't hear you, mate. If you want to try it again, mate, we are more than welcome to have you on. Right, so that was the divisional round. We're going to be going over to the conference championships very shortly. It is pretty much Brit Ball season, folks. Some of you should start training. If you haven't, you're one of the lazier teams. Message us on. We would love to know how you're getting on. So by all means, drop our personal Instagram a message. We'd love to know how you're getting on. Anything you want tagging and stuff for the new platform. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this season. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I'm a bit curious to why the fixtures haven't been released, but we'll get to that hopefully in a few weeks. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a good year for Brit Ball. I'd love to know what's going on with Scotland. I really want to know what's going on with that. Lee, Steve, we are going to come to you, so you should have hopefully done some get back into your Brit Ball. Lee, what are you thinking this season? I mean, we've got time, so
yeah. So I mean, obviously we've got the champions, Bristol Aztecs. They've got some really good stuff going on.
I love their social media. I think their social media is brilliant.
And, they've given clubs an incentive,
Yes.
to kind of bring, to pay them £1,000 towards their travelling fees if they come fully equipped and uniformal. So if everybody's wearing the correct kits and stuff like that, they're going to pay £1,000 towards their travelling fee, which goes a hell of a long way when you're traveling all the way from Cambridge all the way down to Bristol. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Buses aren't cheap to kind of ship all those guys around. So, I mean, that's fantastic, and that's great to see that, Bristol have put this incentive out there, and, that they always recruit well. They've got, the UWE guys there, but they've just got such a good team and such a good outfit there. The Warriors, how they're going to perform now? They've got a new head coach. Our guys going to, stick with it? Are they going to sort of look at going, to the Blitz? The Blitz are another good team as well.
Blitz are meant to be recruiting very well. They had a lot of players attend their session. I had some info on that one. It's interesting for me because in the nicest politest way possible, I didn't care about it until the season just gone because I'm involved in the Monday night program. and now I'm like proper invested into it. It's going to be because Thingy came up as well. What's the name? Wembley Stallions.
Wembley Stallions.
I
So
think.
I, yeah, I watched their last game against the Cheetahs, so the promotion relegation game, and they looked good. You know, I remember playing Stallions.
What's that, Lee? You're going to live stream that game next time you're there. Thanks, mate. Come on, carry on, mate. As you were.
I would more than happy live stream that game. I mean, I was the commentator on that game, and I remember just watching the Stallions. You know, and I've played the Stallions many a times in Div 1 when I was a player at the Cats, and the way they just manhandled the Cheetahs and just got the job done. And you know, it was really impressive to watch, and I think they're going to come into the Prem, you know, proving a point. And you know, I think we've always said, you know, the Prem is kind of divided, isn't it? You've got the top three, the Blitz, the Warriors, the Aztecs, and then you've got, you know, the bottom three. You've got the Rushmore Cats, and now we've got the Stallions. So it'll be interesting to see how the table forms and who shows off and how that league sort of settles down. With the Prem North, obviously we've got some stuff going on in the background. You know, Titans, the Phoenix, you know, looking dominant last year. Yeah, the Manchester Titans had a bit of a wobble last year, didn't they? They lost a couple of games.
No, they lost one.
It's the Phoenix, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've gone through they've managed to still finish top of their league and recruit loads of players after loads of players leaving. What they've left for, I don't know. Whatever they've left for. And then Merseyside Nighthawks recruited really well during the season, and they gelled, and then they gelled at most probably the best time. I think that Prem's going to be really interesting this season. We've got some teams going up. We'll see what happens with that. Let's not divulge too much into that. Div 1, the aspect of it too, Leicester Panthers going up. I'm really thinking they're going to do very well next season, potentially double promotion. You've got the Black Country Steelers, County Steelers. I apologise if I said that wrong.
They've changed their name, yeah.
They're recruiting really well. I know they're recruiting really well. I think Surge have recruited decent. Northampton Knights have always had a good team. I think Shropshire Revolution, it's going to be an interesting one to see how they did last season. Obviously, that league finished quite controversially because they didn't finish all the games, and then Bulls got relegated. I still don't agree with it, but it's the decision. I hope they recruit a lot better this season. I know a few people there, who are good players as well. The other aspect of Div 1, you've got Sheffield, Chester, we believe Rams, and I would say Vikings. It's going to be interesting to see if Vikings are able to recover to crack on. Again, we don't know if these are the fixtures. We're just making educated guesses at this point, folks. We've had no fixtures relayed apart from teams that have opened them. And then you've got Buccaneers in Div 2. They're against Humber, Gateshead, and I want to say Darlington's team or Doncaster, one or the other. That's going to be a really interesting division. And then in the other aspect of the division, you've got Rossendale, first season, really expecting good things. Lee Miners, new people running it. Looks really good. I think Doncaster or Donny or whatever it was. And who's the other one? Someone else. So the North's looking good next season.
Is it the Bombers? Lincolnshire Bombers?
Lincolnshire Bombers.
So I know for a fact they've recruited really well. So a couple of ex Cats players, Jimmy Horn, who used to play QB at the Cats. He went to the Phoenix for a couple of years, and then he went down to Northampton, where they had a really good run last year, almost sort of contended with promotion. He's now gone over to the Bombers, so it's great to see how he's going to perform there.
Yeah.
And another guy called Kev Cunningham, who is an absolute monster at safety. I mean, I've never seen a man hit another player so hard in my life than this guy hits people.
I need to introduce you to Hodo.
So yeah, I mean, I think they have recruited really well, and I think they're going to be a dark horse in this league, I think. So
it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Steve, are you into? How's your revision into Britball going?
Honestly, at this point, with obviously what the future and all that, like, at the moment, all I've just got is just all of the logos in my head, and I'm just having that in my head trying to work out what they are, who's doing what. But
Steve does 80% of the artwork.
I'm looking forward to getting back into it and paying attention and watching the games. And my one promise is that when you're doing a new or repeating podcast about it at some point, I will come on with knowledge, having done the research, and I'm interested to get back into it because it gives more football to watch. Because at the moment, it's just like when a Super Bowl's over, what am I going to do?
Well, this is the thing, because it's perfect for Britball people, because when the Super Bowl finishes, Britball starts getting a bit more tasty. You start hearing about teams doing well, teams potentially folding because they're scraping, the registrations. Pay your registrations, pay your subs, by the way. So no, it's interesting, it's exciting. I think we're going to talk more about it next week. But should we move on to the conference championship games, gents? Are you ready? You got on my first whistle, right? Broncos, Patriots. Here we go. Please, God, please. Broncos, Patriots. Lee, who are you going for?
So, Stidham.
Are you giving another 5-minute speech here?
Is he going to be the next Nick Foles and beat up a Patriots team in a championship game? Maybe, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's had enough game time. I think the Patriots are just. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I really don't. I think Stidham's going to come into that game and everyone's going to go, "Huh, that's an interesting performance by a QB that's been keeping the bench warm." And I think he's going to showcase himself as a potential QB1 for next year. But I think the Patriots are going to edge this again it's going to be a one-score game for me. But I think the Pats are going to win this one, unfortunately.
Okay. Steve?
I think this is going to be a very good game. We're going to see a lot of these two quarterbacks on the floor. A lot. Because these are two teams who have got a lot of blitz, a lot of sacking. Those D-lines on both sides are insane. One thing I found funny when I saw that Bo Nix replaced Stidham in college in like his last year, and now Stidham is having to replace Bo Nix. I was like, this is quite kind of like a cyclical thing. I think it's going to be a very close game, and if anyone ever goes back and looks through any of the old episodes, these are the two teams I've been saying all season that I don't think their offense is good enough, but they're flying on the tails of their defense. And so I'm sort of now just having to eat my own words because they're in the semi-finals. But
give you 4 minutes, by the way.
I'm going Broncos. No, I'm giving the Broncos for some reason the edge on this. They like a close game. Yeah, I'm going for the Broncos. Just something. But I think it's going to be a very good defensive game to watch.
Oh. Come on, Matteo. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, mate?
What am I wanting or what am I thinking? So the reason. So if you look at that last Patriots game, Drake May threw for 179 yards. Out of 27 attempts, got 16, with 1 interception and 3 touchdowns.
And 4 fumbles.
Yeah, that's why I think our defense will win this game. But I think the Patriots are going to win. If I'm being completely honest, I think they are going to win. And again, I have said all season, if I thought my team was going to get beat, I would say it. I think people don't realise how much of a big character Bo Nix is for that team. And he is someone that can be at that club for 8 to 10 years. And that's why I'm really excited about what's going to happen in the future with the Broncos. What I would say, though, is that if this game is close, if this game is one score within it by the end of the third quarter, the Broncos will win. But I do think the Patriots will win. But if what I'm saying is that altitude will make a big impact come fourth quarter. And we've seen that in overtime.
Home field advantage makes a massive difference. I mean, you look at the look at the Seahawks game. How much the crowd gets behind.
I'd have loved to have been in that stadium.
Mate, that'd have been so electric. But yeah, I think you're right. I think home field advantage does count, but it's going to be how well does Stidham perform.
If I do think the Patriots win, for the Broncos to win, they need to keep them shut up from the get go. And if it's close, because that's what they'll be trying to do with us. And if it's come that third quarter, and our group chat will be on fire on Sunday. If there is one score in it, they'll do it. And if the Broncos do win, the mustache is coming back. Forget about Movember; it'll be back here for next week, boys. Because next week's our obviously final show on this platform. Doing this, we're all going to be suited and booted.
Yeah.
Glass of orange juice and all that jazz. But no, it's been a good game of football. I apologise for everything that's going to get said in the group chat. And we'll enjoy that one. Next up, we've got Seahawks against the Rams. Steve, who do you think is going to win this? And I want to say this like this powerhouse game. Who do you think is going to win?
Oh, this game. It's going to be wild. Sam Darnold has thrown 6 interceptions to the Rams in 2 games this season. You've got the offense on the Rams looking amazing. You've got the last few games where Darnold hasn't thrown much, but he hasn't needed to. They've lost a great running back for this game. But I'm going against everything logical and it's going with the Seahawks.
Okay. Lee?
I don't think that's going against everything logical. I think it is. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I think the Seahawks are going to manhandle the Rams in this one. It's going to be the battle of the wide receivers, isn't it? It's going to be Puka versus JSN. And I think the way JSN's been playing just as of late, I think he's going to edge it. Puka had a couple of simple drops in their last game, but I think that just the way the defense is hustling to the ball, they're swarming. They are a 5-shell coverage, but then as soon as it turns into a run play, everybody's on that ball quicker than you can say anything. And it's completely bizarre. But yeah, it's. I think this is going to be a great game, but I do think the Seahawks will take the victory in this one. What do you think, Matteo?
I think the Seahawks are going to absolutely murder them. It'll be like the first half of that game in Space Jam when the Monstars just batter the Looney Tunes. I do not want to play that team in the Super Bowl because they just look like a complete unit together. There's no let's be honest, in majority of Brit Bowl teams, there's a culture of our offense is great and our defense isn't. Our defense is good. We have it with teams like Broncos. The defense is perfect. Their offense lets them down. This team, their offense and the defense just both look as good as each other.
Yeah.
So I'm
going to go special teams as well.
Yeah.
Oh, special.
I like again. That's another thing with like Brit Bowl. Not Prem onwards, but most teams have a really poor special teams. They don't, dedicated kicker or anything like that. It's someone playing wide receiver who can kick a ball or something. They put they're just, for me, they're just the perfect team this season. They really are. But look, more likely what's going to happen. The Rams are winning. We'll all look like divvies. No, it's all right, Nate. We'll get you on next time, mate. We definitely need to get you on this show. But folks, that's it. That's a wrap. it's been a brilliant season so far. We're on next week for the finale. With some big announcements next week. Gents, any plans this week? Stay, you doing much next week, mate? Over the next week?
Work, working on some other things. Lots of artwork stuff. Yeah, not actually a lot planned. It's just
That sounds like it.
Work, and different work.
That sounds like a brilliant. No plans are good plans, mate.
Yeah.
Lee, what about yourself, mate? Apart from
yeah, so obviously watching the football this weekend, definitely that's definitely high on my priority list. And then I've got some, the training again, Cats Academy. Still putting a lot of my time and effort into that. And then on Tuesday, I've got my auditions. I'm going for the lead role, so wish me luck.
What's the play?
I don't think you need luck, mate. I think you're going to sail through it. Sail through it. Me, what am I doing? Work, gym, work, kicking, work, gym, work. It's all the same thing. But looking at Brit Bowl as well, excited about Brit Bowl. We're going to diverge more into that next week. But folks, that has been, I think it's episode 21. This is the Audible. We thank you very much for having us on. We thank you very much for everyone who's every week you comment and you watch, and we really truly appreciate it. We're going to start from the top.
I've been Steve.
I've been Lee.
I've been Matteo. Thank you all very much. We will see you next week, where there'll be a few more surprises.